got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
The right wing is flipping out over those comments made by Representative Jasmine Crockett, who called Texas Governor Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels. All right. This happened during a human rights campaign dinner in LA on Saturday. And immediately the right wing was filled with frothing apoplectic rage. I kid you not. Here we go. You have Scott Jennings, Governor of Texas Greg Abbott, has used a wheelchair since 1984. That's an ironic year. When he was tragically paralyzed in an accident. Today, the unquestioned leader of the Democratic Party, Representative Jasmine Crockett, mocks him with the insult, Governor Hot Wheels. Is that really an insult? I mean, I like Hot Wheels. I mean, I especially liked it when I was a kid. I don't know. Daily Caller writes, Jasmine Crockett calls Texas Governor Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels. Abbott is paralyzed below the waist and has used a wheelchair for over 40 years. You can see Elon down there going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they would say something like that. I can't believe she would do that. How dare she? Riley Gaines, famous for just being an extreme loser in sports. Okay. Says, how this woman is an elected official is beyond me. Well, Riley, you see, when people go out and vote for a candidate, they have choices, and people chose Crockett to represent them. I know, it's really, really simple. Tommy Loren says, making fun of a governor in a wheelchair, new low unlocked by Ratchet Jasmine. Wow, okay. So now, look, Abbott, as I mentioned, he was paralyzed from the waist down by a tree that fell on him while running when he was 26 years old, right? So he uses a wheelchair, and I don't really see here how what she said was offensive towards people in wheelchairs. It's not saying that, hey, governor, you are not qualified to be a governor because you were disabled. Nothing like that. Just saying you're a governor of Hot Wheels, and you're a hot mess. And I see that's why she tried to make that joke, right? So now Crockett came out and said, look, I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Now that is true. He did bus migrants to predominantly Democratic cities in the years 2022 through 2024. His state spent about $140 million on that program. So, yeah, Hot Wheels, right? That said, Republicans are now falling over themselves to be inclusive to the disabled community. In fact, here is Abbott responding to this on Sean Hannity's show.
I take it personally when friends of mine are attacked viciously for no reason, and there's no way in hell that this woman and her ex-post is going to convince me she meant anything other than what we all believe it to be. Your reaction?
Well, Sean, is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate, and Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country. The fact, Sean, is that Texas is actually in direct contrast to what she was talking about. Texas has ranked #1 for the most new jobs in America over the past month, #1 for the most new jobs over the past year and for several years. Texas ranks #1 for the most new economic development projects for 13 years in a row. CEOs who run businesses have ranked Texas the best state for doing business for 20 years in a row. And Texas is in the vanguard as it concerns the future of the United States, such as space exploration, such as artificial intelligence, such as semiconductors, as well as power generation. The bottom line is that Republican states like Texas are leading the way, and with comments like this by Democrats, we will just leave them in the dust in future elections.
oh man, Texas is just so great. It's so great. All right, Texas is amazing, and it completely the opposite of what Crockett was talking about. You realize that Texas actually ranks 41 on a scale of economic opportunity, right? That's not good. 44th in equality, 45th in environment, 29th in education. I'm actually surprised it's that high. 31st in healthcare. Look, it's great for business though. Why? It's because they have low taxes and less regulation. That's it. So of course businesses are gonna love it. They're gonna love it. But okay, let's get back to Crockett though and the right-wing freakout. So now what? You suddenly care about the disabled? It's funny because Doge and Donald Trump are attacking disabled people all over the country, cutting off vital services. According to the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, the Trump administration, including Elon Musk and his non-department Department of Government Efficiency, have taken actions risking creating unprecedented delay, degraded customer service, and unnecessary barriers for millions of beneficiaries to be able to access the benefits that they have earned. That is a real attack on disabled people that is going to have real impacts. Not only that, but of course you look at rhetorically, right? Elon Musk and Republicans have brought back the R slur. You know, going after disabled people, calling them the R word. And during Trump's first presidential campaign, yes, oh, you all remember this, Trump openly mocked the disability of a New York Times reporter, Serge Kovaleski. Yeah, how Donald Trump did not lose the first time and second time as a result of that, I mean, come on. Come on. Not only that, but his administration has also killed DEI, which helps disabled people get jobs, including, by the way, wounded veterans. About 6,000 of the employees that were just fired by the Trump administration, at least 6,000 have been veterans. So I'm sorry, but I am not buying the right wing's performative bullshit outrage on this. No, I'm not. Now, that said, look, disability rights activists did speak out, and they weren't exactly thrilled with this. And I'm going to share that. Josie Bizik, Senior Communications and Digital Experience Director at United Spinal Association, said Governor Abbott sometimes has policies that are harmful to people with disabilities, and that's terrible. Representative Crockett has a history of protecting the programs and rights of people with disabilities, and that's wonderful. At the same time, the stigma is real. Yeah, yes, of course the stigma is real. But as you pointed out in your own statement there, actions do speak louder than words. So now Emily Ladau, disability rights advocate and author, was a bit more harsh towards Crockett, saying if the Democrats want to be as inclusive as they claim they do, and ensure that people with disabilities are actually recognized as being welcome under their political umbrella, then you have to be thoughtful about your words. And when Crockett made that joke, she was really punching down, and she knew she would get a laugh. Again, I'm going to disagree with that, because she wanted to say Hot Wheels, hot mess. All right. But I can understand why Emily would think that way, right? Because let's be honest, our country really does punch down a lot at the disabled. Okay. And Ladau adds, right now, we're in a really tenuous times where you don't want to make a foe out of someone who is otherwise a friend like Crockett clearly is. But we cannot hold one side to account and not the other. Again, I really do think that this was not intended to be a slam against the disability. Chase Bearden, executive director of the Coalition of Texans with Disabilities, said the reaction to Crockett's statement is a reminder for both sides of the political spectrum to, quote, stop using someone's disability as the basis of an insult. A person's disability doesn't affect their ability to do their job, whether they're a governor, a reporter, or an air traffic controller, Bearden said in a statement. Lawmakers of all stripes should spend their energy crafting and implementing policy that serves all Americans, not mudslinging. Well, once again, Crockett's statement didn't say anything about his ability to be a governor, to serve as a governor. He's a Republican governor. And so, yes, hot mess. Because Republican governors, they implement policies that hurt average people and help giant corporations. Okay? And crap all over disabled people. So, I mean, her making that statement, generally correct. All right? Now, that said, in an email to Politico, Crockett's chief of staff, Kimberly McLean, said that Crockett, quote, in no way meant any harm towards the governor or meant to take lightly any medical conditions that he may have, adding that she would continue to advocate for the needs of our disabled neighbors. Look, here's the thing. This is what Republicans do that force Democrats to fight, right? They take an issue like this, right, and they weaponize it, okay? Well-meaning people attack that person for making a wrong statement. And then the right sits back and watches us rip each other to shreds over it. That's what's happening here. I refuse. I refuse to do it. I refuse to help the right wing. The same right wing that would openly, call for the killing of disabled people for being a drain on the system if they could. Okay? Look, I mean, Elon Musk is pretty close to saying that already. I like that Crockett is a fighter. And I don't believe that she intentionally mocked Abbott's disability. And I'm not going to fall for the right wing's performative outrage. Because that's what this is. This is performative outrage. And neither is she, by the way. And I'm glad that she's not backing down because too many people, too many Democrats always back down when they're criticized by the right wing. But she's not. She further wrote on X that she's even more appalled at the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Quote, keep that same energy for all people, not just your political adversaries. Bingo. Look, we got to keep our eye on the ball here, okay? The protection of people with disabilities from the people who want to take away every accomplishment, which is what they're doing here, and every opportunity for the disabled. Crockett is not the bad person here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.